So you want to see what that new toy you just bought can do when it's up against their biggest games in the industry, do you? Well, firstly, we salute your combative attitude towards PC hardware. Secondly, bring on the ROG Ally, bring on the AAA games, and let's bathe our eyes in the best visuals handheld PC gaming has ever seen. Hello and welcome to the ASUS ROG Global channel, where lately we've been finding it pretty difficult to do normal stuff like looking where we're going and having a hand free to open doors because we've been doing a lot of this. The ROG Ally is a handheld PC with incredible specs, and it can handle even AAA blockbuster games on that 7-inch 1080p 120Hz screen. So you know what we're thinking, don't you? Exactly. So let's list some wonderful AAA games you can play on the Ally and have the absolute best time with wherever you are in the world. You could call Forza Horizon 5 a driving game or a racing game, but that doesn't really cover it. Even though it's more simplistic, it's probably more accurate to call it a car game, like my nan would do. Because really, that's what it is. It's about a love of cars, and that love takes every possible form. Yes, there are traditional races, and you compete in them in hypercars or hatchbacks according to your penchants and peccadillos, but often you find yourself just cruising around Mexico for the sake of it, taking in the view, or spending hours in the car showrooms and auction house, hunting down rare models and then smothering them in vinyls that would make even Vin Diesel blush. It's a gorgeous, heightened fantasy about collecting the most beautiful and characterful cars in the world and doing whatever the heck you like in them. And that is a winning formula for handheld PC gaming if we ever heard one. Also, shout out to being able to drive a car while you're in an actual car in transit. Having an Ally is worth it just for that. That's right, Cyberpunk 2077, we're going there. Night City, where graphics cards go to melt. But it's very much in the Ally's wheelhouse, which means walloping leather-clad thugs with stylish haircuts is very much back on the menu. Telling the story of a cybernetically enhanced human and their imaginary friend Keanu Reeves, CD Projekt's 2020 blockbuster brings to life a technologically advanced near future where morals went out of the window and left only brilliant gunfights and RPG-style character upgrading in their wake. Cruise around in its streets in a retro-futuristic sports car, enjoy the pulpy plot, get in fights, get in more fights, almost get in even more fights but then decide to just hack stuff instead. It's all going down in Night City, and the Ally has got it covered. Modern Call of Duty isn't just a game. It's an ecosystem of totally different experiences united by crunchy gun noises and people frowning in pre-mission briefings. You've got that cinematic single-player campaign the franchise has built its name on, but also co-op and PvP multiplayer with new and returning modes and a revamped version of COD's Battle Royale, Warzone 2.0. That's quite a lot. And somehow, all that spectacle, bombast and obsessing over rare weapon attachments is crammed into a handheld PC that lets the action zip along at the pace it was meant to. Now that really is modern warfare. Nobody knows how to make the act of smashing rooms full of fantasy miscreants into puree better than Blizzard. Walk forwards, make a fine preserve out of some zombies, demons, and twisted magical incarnations, watch the loot flow out of them like you just whacked a piñata, feel your heart rate rising with invigoration as those loot items make all your characters' numbers go up, and repeat. That's been the Diablo formula for years now, and it's refined to perfection in Diablo 4, where classes are brilliantly defined and varied, the environments overflowing with dark, foreboding atmosphere, from procedurally generated dungeons to handcrafted walks through the grimmest corners of Sanctuary. It's their best looking dungeon crawler we've ever seen, and it's ready to go with you on your travels on the Ally. Known primarily for making soccer players do very specific celebrations and blowing up its game world, Fortnite is actually a pretty decent battle royale game too, when you get into it. What began as a last chance saloon moment for Epic's Wave Defense PvE game has become a trailblazer for brand collabs, virtual concerts, and it's shown us how you tell a story in a persistent world where nobody really wants to watch a cutscene and in fact spends most of their time looking at wooden boards, which is all very impressive. With the Ally's triple-band Wi-Fi 6 connectivity, if you can find a strong internet connection while you're on the move, you can indulge in treats like FORTNITE away from home. Nothing speeds up like a long trip like dropping down into Rumble ruins. It's the little details that make Red Dead Redemption 2 so good. This isn't just a game about being surly, wearing a hat and shooting people, although just so that we're all on the same page, all that stuff is definitely in it. But no, the point I'm making here is that Rockstar Games built a Wild West open world crammed with just mind-blowingly impressive small touches everywhere. Arthur's beard grows in real time, for example, and when you visit a barber in town to shave it, you get length options for 3 different areas of his stubble. Guns get clogged up, and if you get them wet, you'll need to clean them to get them back to full performance. Townsfolk react to Arthur's appearance, so if you stroll into town covered in mud, you'll be met by a pretty shocked populace. Dead bodies turn to skeletons over time, and famously, horses poop dynamically. So that's nice. And while all of that's going on, you're treated to an odyssey of frontier storytelling, characterizations, missions you'll think about months after you complete them, and the kind of peerless single-player adventure that made Rockstar the biggest name in the industry in the first place. But no, sure, I mean Travel Scrabble works too if you'd rather take that with you on a train ride. Industry legend Hideo Kojima has always found his voice in the esoteric. The moments you remember from his Metal Gear Solid games are the bits that you could never have anticipated. Swapping controller ports, finding radio channels on the game box, Kojima stuff. And with Death Stranding, it's like he was just daring you to try and guess what he'd do next. So, hands up everyone who had super detailed courier sim set in a version of the USA that looks like Iceland on their bingo cards. Yeah, no, that's what I thought. And yet, even with character names like Sam Porter Bridges and Die Hardman, loaded with meaning even more clumsily than I load my packages, Death Stranding is a triumph of invention and sheer strangeness. Obsess over ladder placements, wander over meditative landscapes, feel unbridled joy when you graduate to vehicles instead of walking your consignments everywhere. It's not much like Metal Gear Solid, but it's also not much like anything else in the history of games, and for that reason, it's essential on any platform. So that's just a few of our favourite picks for AAA games to try on the ROG Ally. Keep experimenting with your Ally though, and tell us about their favourites from your own game library that you didn't expect would make such perfect handheld joys. Subscribe to us for more, click on various buttons below the video to show us you love us, and we'll catch you in another one.